Hey guys, can you guys hear me? How's it going? I think you guys can hear me. Oh, mommy? Am I your mommy? When did I adopted you? Oh, is this my laptop? I'm sorry, this is my other laptop. Put this here so it won't bother you. Okay. Um. Hey, how's it going, guys? God, today I'm a mess. My hair is kind of a mess. I'm sorry about this. Your bee mom? How old are you? I didn't know I adopted people without knowing. I also know like I have some kids on Tumblr apparently that I wasn't aware of. And they were like, oh, Yuan, Wish circuits are my mommies. And I was like, oh, I didn't know I adopted kids with Wish. But anyway, hi, how's it going? I hope you guys are alright. You binge watched all of my Volume 6 reactions. I've been needing some good B contents. Then you're in the right place. I mean, I don't know if this is a good B's content, but I'm trying. I'm just rambling. Mion is here, just dropping by for a second since I can't stay. Hope you'll have fun. You can always watch the stream later on, Mion. Like, I know you have exams. You gotta go and study. Love you so much. Take care. Thank you for stopping by. You have a crush on me? Dude, I'm a mess. You should have a crush on someone else. I'm a mess. I'm not the right person to have a crush on. Like, reconsider, please. Hello! Hi, Yana! It's nice to see you. So many people from the server? Oh? Maybe I'm a different kind of mommy? I did not like that comment. You guys are the worst. Okay, let's just wait for other people to join. And then... Oh, please don't, stop calling me mom, please. Do you think White Rose would get a chance in Ruby? I don't think so. But you know, you can ship whatever you want, but I don't think they're gonna be canon. Oh, Crimson Wolf. I was in the middle of doing something when I saw the notification and jumped on in here. Thank you. Why are we doing this to Autumn? I keep asking myself the same question, but for some reason everyone keeps teasing me with these stuff. Who knows why? Like everyone is the same. People love teasing me. No, you're the best person to have a crush on. You're awesome. I really am not the best person to have a crush on, but thank you. Forget the weird mom stuff. I'm trying to forget. um, who wouldn't want me? Oh, okay. A lot of people. Like, I've been single for a really long time now. I mean, it's also because, you know, I'm a gamer, so everyone thinks that I'm straight. It's annoying. I haven't seen Eurovision. I haven't been watching that contest for like 3 or 4 years now. Yana, don't donate. You're already my patron. You don't have to donate. Are you really a meerkat? I am not. Guys, I'm not a furry. Let's not start this. It's just a YouTube name. Like I'm not a I'm not a meerkat. It's just a nickname. I'm a human being. You don't have to give me money, Yana. You're a student. I only have the hand holding of the bees in my head replaying over and over again. Oh, that's a mood. Yana, stop this. Anyway, how many people are in here? 38. Let's just wait for like 5 more minutes. In the meantime, I'm gonna chat with you guys. And like, on this stream, I'll be talking about the bees again, like all of the bees moments in Volume 6. If you have been on my previous Bumbleby livestream, I talked about the first half of Volume 6, like all of the Bumblebee moments, and now I'm gonna talk about the second half. And I have 150 screenshots on OBS. There are a lot of shit to talk about. And then I'm gonna read a short fanfiction that my friend wrote. Like, I talked about this. Oops, I'm sorry. I talked about this on my server and decided that, I'm gonna try something different. And I told them that I'm gonna read fanfiction. And my friend sent me hers, and I know she's been writing fanfictions, but I haven't been able to like read her fictions. So I'll be reading that if you guys would be up to it. I'm gonna read it after I talked about all of the Bumblebee moments. It's a short one. I'm gonna send the link to the chat as well so that you can follow it with me. I trust her. I'm sure it's a cute fiction. She's not here, by the way. Today she's not here. She's outside. She's from UK and she's on an event today. That's why she's not gonna be able to see me live while reading it. But she's gonna watch this later on, so that's what matters. Um, Let me read the chat. I will be here later. Okay, Burn. I'll be waiting. Let's see. Hello, newbie! Hi! I hope you'll enjoy your time on my channel. I'm just a trash, if you've noticed. What were the weirdest ships you were into? Weirdest ships? I mean, I only shipped the bees, Renora, and Coco, and, Velvet. And, like, I mean, I'm assuming you're talking about Ruby, so these are my only ships. I don't think they're weird. I'm reading the chat. Meerkat. Yeah, Meerkat should have been my nickname, but I didn't know that I'd be this kind of a trash word beast, to be honest. Meerkat. I should change my YouTube name to Meerkat from Meerkat. Bless you for providing us with Ruby content during this cursed hiatus. Aw, you're welcome. Like, I'm also struggling with the hiatus, so it's my pleasure to give you guys content. Do you like Billie Eilish? I love her. I mean, I've discovered Billie Eilish this month thanks to a friend of mine, and like I've been listening to her songs from time to time ever since. Like there is some like she has some really cool songs, but her music clips, like her music videos are kind of creepy. I mean, I'm not watching her music videos, but I listen to her music. What was the one that I liked most? Lovely. I think it was Lovely. Hold on, let me check from my Spotify actually. I think it was Lovely. It was a duet between her and a guy. Eilish, let me check. Yeah, with Khalid, I think. And Bad Guy is really good. Bury a Friend is really good. When the party is over, it's good. There are some other songs that I like. But anyway, it's not a Billie Eilish stream. Oh, Eilish. Oh, I'm sorry. Billie Eilish. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Billie Eilish. I should remember this. Fall of Meerkat. um Can you imagine the four main characters being gay? I mean, that would be great, but I don't think they're all gay. Billie Eilish. I really should remember that. Autumn is awesome. Oh, thank you. Hammercat. No Hammercat here. She's just my friend, guys, please. Oh god, please don't ship me with my friends. We're both real people, you know? And she's already with someone, so please, don't do that. If you could, which other languages besides your own and English would you like to speak? Japanese and French, probably. They're cool. They're nice languages. Cassandra, you're saying same, but I don't know what you're saying same to. Same and again same. I don't know what you're saying that. What is your first language? I cannot tell from your accent. It is a secret. Keep guessing. Oh god, good luck with French. I mean, I don't know if I can, like, find the time to learn more new languages. Like, I'm so busy lately because of my full-time job and because of YouTube. Do you think that the big bad wolf may appear in the next season? Probably. I mean, perhaps we can see that in the next season. I'm sure we'll see it. Alright, let's start the stream though. I've been rambling for way too long. It's been 15 minutes, guys. Okay, I have my screenshots. I'm gonna start talking from where I left off. Alright, let's start. I was just reading the chat again. Okay, so last week I stopped recording the live stream at the end of the Apathy arc. So now they're in Argus. Like, Argus was a great city. And, like, hold on. Just, hold on, let me make this bigger. Just look at their height difference. It's adorable, don't you think? And we have Renora and Bumblebee in the same scene. Like, the best ships. The main ships of the show. That's gonna be canon for real. And, like, it is great. Like, I love these two ships. That's why I put this here. But yeah, the other thing is, like, when they arrived at Terracotta Arc Family, I mean, Coda Arc Family, I'm sorry, Coda Arc Family, like, Yang and Weiss were being adorable as heck. And, like, Blake was just watching Yang from the other side. She was probably like, oh gosh, she's way too adorable. How can she be so adorable and badass at the same time? Just look at her getting along with the kid. Like, she was, and if I remember correctly, like, Blake moved her ear like this. It twitched. It was the cutest thing ever. But yeah. Alright. And then, after they made all of those plans and stuff, like, they got separated, and we got the bees on a freaking bike. Like, we've been wanting this for a really long time, and it's actually happened. Like, the screen suddenly changed to this, and I remember I was like shook. I was like, holy shit, they're actually riding Bumblebee together. Bumblebee on top of Bumblebee. I'm like, it was crazy. It was crazy. I was not expecting to see this. I was not expecting to see this. They're perfect on top of the bike. They're great. And, like, Blake's hand is on Yang's stomach. She's kind of lucky. And they're going for the mission. Things are gonna get intense from here, but before that, of course, we have that adorable as heck scene. This banter between Blake and Yang. You know, Blake is going to the tower alone since, you know, she's the stealth one. Like, she's a ninja. And Yang is not that good at being stealthy. Like Blake said herself. So Yang is worried, and she's like, you sure I shouldn't come with? And Blake is being like, you know, otherwise, like, if you come with me, people can see us. I mean, they can see us. And besides, stealth isn't exactly your This was like the cutest thing ever. Just hold on, I'm gonna make this bigger because it's adorable as heck. Look at this face. She's like, oop, what am I saying? I'm screwed. I shouldn't have said this. She was like, she knew she made a mistake. So yeah, I mean, Yang is like, what are you saying? Like, what are you trying to say? I can be stealthy. And then Blake was like, I mean, you're great, and I'll be right back. It was the cutest thing. Hold on. And look at this. Like, look at the change. Look at this change in Yang's expressions. Just hold on. Just look at the smile. She's like, she said the softest go. Like, they're acting like they're wives. Like, they're acting like a married couple. You can't change my mind. Seriously, they're acting like a married couple. I love them. And look at this adorableness. I'm gonna make these bigger because, like, why the heck not? Oh, hold on. Alright, there we go. Just look at this. Look at this. Oh, Tuxer, thank you so much for the donation. Long live the bees. Exactly, exactly. Blake is the cutest. Just look at this adorableness. Like, it's so obvious that she has feelings for Yang. Am I right? Am I right? Hold on. Okay. And then she gave that soft expression while going. Just look at this. Like, she's reassuring Yang that she's gonna be back because she knows that Yang might think that she might not come back again because of what happened at Beacon, and she's reassuring. And, like, it's the cutest thing. But yeah. And then, after Blake ran into Adam and those stuff happened, I will not be beaten. Thank you for the donation. Why are you gonna be beaten? I don't understand. But okay. Wait, aren't you the one who's been calling me mommy? Please don't call me mom. I'm no one's mom except my dog. Anyway. So, after that whole fight, you know, Adam has been trying to, like, make Blake feel horrible about herself. And he was like, how does it feel to be alone? And Blake was like, I'm not alone. And that's right after she heard Yang's bike's sound. So she knew that Yang was coming, and, like, okay, hold on. This is amazing. Cassandra Barrett, thank you for the donation. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, so this was, like, I mean, I knew that she was gonna come, Yang was gonna come with her bike, but I did not expect the other scene. What I'm talking about is this. Oh, this is perfect. If I remember it correctly, someone on Tumblr actually, like, frame this scene and hang it on their wall. Like, literally, they hang it on their wall, and it's, like, the best idea. Like, seriously, I should also do the same thing, and you guys can, like, see this behind me whenever you guys watch my videos, because this is art. This is art. I mean, look at this. Rip Bumblebee. Like, you have no idea, it took me 10 minutes to catch that screenshot. Okay, so these are Yana's screenshots, and Yana is on the live chat, and she's saying that it was really hard for her to take the screenshot. Thank you so much for the screenshots, Yana, you saved my life. Cassandra Barrett, wait, my hotspot password is Bumblebee's canon. That's the perfect idea. I should also do the same thing, to be honest. But anyway. Okay, so this scene was great. Let's go one by one. Like, let me make this bigger. Can you see Blake's face? Is it clear for you guys? Like, she's smiling. She's smiling at Yang. Like, she's so proud. She knew that Yang was gonna come to help her. Like, this is so freaking great. And then, look at this power couple. Look at them. They're ready to kick Adam's ass for real. For real. And I'm all up for it. I'm all up for it. Seriously. This fight between the bees and Adam, it's one of my favorites. It's one of my all-time favorites. And Blake was like, Yang, and he was like, you. Oh, he hates Yang because he knows how much Blake cares about Yang. He knows she has a thing for Yang. That's why he hates her. He really hates her, and he's really jealous. Asshole. And this soft thing, she's like, it's okay. You know, catch your breath for a second. I can hold him off. Like, I love their dynamic. I love it so freaking much. I love these two. And he was like, it's okay, we have an unfinished business from Beacon. Like, it's clear that they're foils. Yang and Adam, I mean, there are a lot of people in the fandom, um, who are trying to say, like, Adam is foil between Sun or someone else, I think. But, like, it was really hard for some people to accept the fact that these two are foils for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah. And then Blake started to explain his semblance is like yours, which is actually kind of interesting if you think about it. Like, um, he absorbs energy through his sword and then sends it back when he's ready. And it really is similar to Yang's semblance in a way, but I also love talking about Yang's semblance and Adam's semblance at the same time. Because semblances are a part of, like, it's the manifestation of their souls, also kind of auras, and semblances are like they show some, I don't know how to word it, like you get something about their personalities with their semblances. Like, it's connected to their personalities if you think about it. And Adam's semblance shows that it is similar to Yang, but it also shows how, like, what kind of a coward she is, like, he is. Like, while Yang is absorbing energy while, like, taking a hit, Adam is just, save it to his sword and then sends it back. And it really shows what kind of a coward person he is and how different he is from Yang. Like, I just love talking about their semblances in this regard, and she also says that. Here, she words it. That's kinda cheap, she says. And she's right. She really is right. Their semblances might be similar, but they're way too different than each other. Yang and Adam, I mean. And, like, after they look at each other, here they look at each other, he got really mad, and I was all up for it. Like, I was all up for it. Like, he looks at Blake, and then he gets really angry because he's aware how much Blake cares about Yang. And he knows he had Blake's attention, Blake's love at the past, but now Yang has it. And he can't handle that. He's so freaking jealous. And that's why he got really mad and attacked Yang with everything he got. Like, with everything he got. And this desperation on Blake's eyes. Let me make this bigger. Like, this kills me. Like, she was so worried for Yang. She was so freaking worried. She thought that she was gonna lose Yang. And it kills me. It's really killed me. Like, you can actually see how much these two care about each other in subtle moments like this. Like, seriously. I just love the Beast so much. And this epic scene. Okay, I'm still confused as to how, like, Yang stopped the attack only with her arm, because, it's, like, it's just this area. And that attack was, like, a huge one. I mean, I don't know how she actually stopped the attacks, but anyway, I don't care. This scene was so freaking cool. Just look at the determination on her eyes. Just look at it. She's not impressed. She's so not impressed. And then she says, leave us alone. Just leave us. They've been trying to warn Adam to go away, because they were aware of the fact that if this keeps going, someone is gonna die. And they don't want that. They don't want to kill him. But he left no other choice, like. And she says it. This is your last chance. Just please go. We don't want to do this. And now you got this scene. Adam against the bees. Like, I love all of these scenes, like, seriously. I love it. I love this chapter so much. And then he reached to his sword. And actually, after this scene, it was clear that Adam was gonna die. Because, like, he is so stubborn. He's not gonna stop. Because, you know, he's just he's obsessed. He's obsessed with these two. So it was kind of obvious that Adam was gonna die after this scene in particular. Cassandra Barrett, it's so obvious Adam is jealous. Exactly. Thank you for the donation, by the way. Yup, he's jealous. He really is jealous. And he was like, do you really believe that? He was still trying to manipulate them. You know. Or are you just trying to scare me away? So you won't have to die trying to protect her. Like, come on. Like, Yang is not someone like that. Like, if you remember it from Armed and Ready, Yang's song, there is nothing that Yang wouldn't do for Blake. So, nope, asshole. She's not scared. She's not scared at all. But yeah, she got mad afterwards. She got really angry and her PTSD started to show up. And like, I'm reading the chat. Quick question, what time right now? Just curious because it's 1:10. Oh, you're really... it's not midnight here yet. I'm sorry, it's kind of late for you, I guess. I'm sorry. Anyway, then we got this. I lost my shit. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen my reaction to this chapter, but I think my reaction to this chapter is over 1 hour. Because I just kept rambling about the bees. I was losing my shit. Because this was an epic scene. She held Yang's shaking hand, and the shaking stopped. Like, we've been wanting this for God knows how long. I've been wanting this ever since I joined the fandom, which was 2 years ago. And it's actually fucking happened. It happened. And like, you know, I was imagining Blake holding Yang's hand and her, like, Yang's handshake stops. And it's actually happened. And then we got, like, this epic scene. She's not protecting me, Adam. And you can see how confused Yang is on this scene. She's like, wait, what? What are you saying? And then this look. It's an important one. I'm gonna zoom in. If you remember, she said, before the apathy arc, she said, I will protect you. And Yang got really offended because she thought they were on the same level, you know. And she realized her mistake, and like, you can actually see that on her face that she made a mistake, and she's trying to make Yang forgive her. She's trying to show that she got her mistake, and we understand that from this line and this epic moment. Let's just appreciate the power couple, you all. Let's just appreciate. By the way, I see someone is spamming the chat. Please don't spam the chat with Fs. Why are you guys like spamming the chat with Fs? I'm just reading the chat right now. Oh my god, it is 4:13 for Cassandra. Oh my goodness, it's morning for you and you're in the live stream. Oh boy, I'm so sorry for this. You should be sleeping. Well, thank you for being here, I guess. But anyway, guys, this scene, we are protecting each other. I lost my shit. I absolutely lost my shit here. Just look at this epic scene. They're the best couple that I've ever seen. Like, this was amazing. Let me read the chat. The best thing after this episode was Erin's reaction on Twitter. Oh my god, you're right. I don't know if you guys have seen like Erin's reactions to these episodes. Like she reacted to this episode and the next one, and she was so freaking adorable. I think they're on YouTube. Like you gotta see her reactions. She's the best reactor around. She's the best. And now we switch to the other episode. And when I first saw this, I was like, they're still holding hands. This must be a dream. But yeah. And he was still trying to like manipulate them. He was like, "Oh, are you sure you're gonna win? You know, it didn't work at Beacon, asshole." And then we got this. Like, I have no other choice. Now there are people who actually care about me. And I promised I'll never leave them again, so I'm not dying now. And she actually held Yang's hand, like she squeezed it. She squeezed her hand, and it was amazing. Guys, like, she knows Adam didn't give a shit about her. And she was like, you know, you didn't give a shit about me, but now there are people actually loves me. Team Ruby. She sees them like a family, and she's not dying now. For them. She's gonna stay alive. For them, because she promised she's never gonna leave them again. She promised to Yank. Guys, this is beautiful. Oh my god, I missed them. I should rewatch Volume 6 later on. And he was like, you made your choice and I made mine. He's saying that we're gonna fight. I'm not leaving. And what's interesting is if you look at how they're standing, Blake is surprised and Yang is ready to attack. And you can really see that Blake doesn't want to do this. Blake doesn't want to attack Adam because she knows that at the end of this fight they might have to kill Adam, and she doesn't want that, and you can actually see it from her face. But on the other scenes, like you can actually see her expression here, like she doesn't want that. She doesn't want this, but she knows that she has no other choice but to fight with Adam, her ex-partner. Like, you know, she actually cared about Adam. She loved him, so this must be really hard for her. And then she was also ready to attack. She just accepted the fact that, you know, they gotta do this to be free because she's aware that he's obsessed and he's not gonna leave them alone. So they gotta end this nightmare. So yeah, we got this epic fight. Bees versus Adam. Or may I say, Beauty and the Beast versus Gaston. It was such an epic fight, and I especially love this scene so much. Hold on, let me make this bigger. Just look at these queens. Look at them. I love them so much, guys. I really love them. And while they were fighting, you know, Adam turns Blake attack against her, and you can actually see the desperation in Yang's eyes. It was the same for Blake when Adam attacked Yang on the other screenshot, and now the same thing is happening to Yang. Like, you can see how much they care about each other and how much they got scared because of the thought of, like, losing one another. So, she got really quick to save Blake. Like, this was amazing. this was amazing. I think I watched the scene in slow motion. Like, I watched this fight over and over again, and I watched it like with slow motion to be able to see every move, and it was great. Like, this fight is just one of my favorites. And then I put these screenshots because there's something important here, which is Blake's aura. So this is the first time that we've seen Blake's aura color, and it is purple. Why it is important, you might say, but like, it is important because semblances are the manifestation of their souls. Blake's semblance is purple, and Yang's semblance is yellow, and it's the color of their eyes. They're like freaking yin and yang. They're like soulmates. So I really love this detail. This scene was also important because Blake is such a good fighter, and we've never, ever, in all of these volumes, seen her, like, losing her aura. She's always the careful one. But this fight pushed her so much and she finally lost her aura. Like, she was exhausted. But, like, I respect so much. Like, I respect Blake so much because even after this point, she climbed a freaking wall to be able to save Yang, to be able to help Yang. Like, you can again see how worried Yang was for Blake. And Yang, like, Blake was in such a hard situation. And then she was determined to defeat Adam. You can actually see it from Yang's eyes. Cassandra, cats don't always land on their feet, but they climb. Yeah, you're right. Also, thank you for the donation again. And he was again trying to manipulate Yang, and it drives me crazy. Do you think you're faster than you were at Beacon? And I was like, oh, please just shut the fuck up. And it's worked for a second. It's like she dropped her hands for a little bit because, you know, it kind of worked. And then he was like, me neither. And then he was like, your aura is bound to be low. So just drop this fight. You're not gonna win. She was still, like, he was still trying to manipulate Yang, but it didn't work. Just look at the determination on her eyes. Just look at it. She's determined, guys. And then we got the, hold on. Which scene? Okay, I found it. Just, this was hilarious. In a way, like, we have a close shot of Adam, and behind him there's Blake. There's a tiny Blake climbing the wall with her heels like a spider. Like, this was actually hilarious, but like, kudos to Blake for being able to do that. And she was actually looking at Blake here, and then Blake was looking at Yang because she was on the wall and she wasn't able to help Yang, and it was such a hard situation if you think about it. So she was checking Blake, and then she looked back. This scene is important in a way because if you remember, like, later on, she's gonna throw Adam's sword away, and she specifically chose one spot to throw away his sword. She chose the part where Blake was climbing the wall. That's why she was keeping an eye on her. She was trying to keep an eye on Blake to see if she's safe, and she was also making a plan because, you know, they're teammates, and she was planning stuff. I mean, if you remember, she said she's smarter than she was at Beacon. And I'm gonna go to that part later on. Let's go one by one. Cassandra, I don't know what's bigger, Adam's jealousy or ego. That's a good question. That's a good question. I don't have an answer for that. But yeah. Um let's go. Yeah, she's still on the scene. She's still checking on Blake to see where she is. And Blake is still climbing. Blake is still climbing. She's doing her best. You go, girl. And Adam was like, "You're just a coward like her." Like, dude, you really are delusional, like Blake said. Like, you are the coward one, and they're like the bravest characters in the whole show. Like, seriously, this guy is delusional. And now we got this. Guys, look at this beauty. Look at this. We've finally seen Yang's semblance. We had been seeing her semblance ever since Volume 3, so this was such a good thing to see. Let's go to that epic scene. She stopped the attack. She stopped it. And she grabbed the sword. This was so satisfying to see. This was so satisfying to see, and I don't exactly remember the scene, but these are all parallels to the Beauty and the Beast, where Beast was fighting with Gaston. Like, it's really similar to I mean, there were posts about it on Tumblr, but I don't exactly remember the scenes in Beauty and the Beast, but they are really similar. Like, if you go and watch Beauty and the Beast and then go and watch this scene, you can actually see the similarities. I mean, their whole arc is this Beauty and the Beast thing. Like, it's amazing. And we finally seen her hair glowing again. This was so freaking amazing. I'm gonna make this bigger. She's like, "Gotcha." And there was a reaction on Twitter. I think it was Wish. Yeah. Wish's reaction. While she was watching the scene, she said, "Oh, that's my sexuality." And like, it's the like perfect description. Like, this gotcha and this scene, it's most of us, this is like sexuality, probably. Like, look at this scene, it's epic. Like, her hair looks incredible with the new animation. I just love it so much. Pandora's Wish is iconic. She really is iconic. Wish Circuit is iconic. I agree. She's amazing. Like, seriously, go check her content if you haven't already. She's in the fandom. But yeah. And then we got this. Like, just look at this. This was so freaking satisfying. She finally did it. She grabbed his sword. So she's powerless. Like, he's powerless now. He can't use his semblance without a weapon. It's KO. And she said, look at look at this idiot. He's like, "Oh, where's my sword?" Anyway, and she was like, "I may not be faster, but I'm smarter." This was epic. She's saying that she's smarter than she was at Beacon. Because, you know, Adam said, "Oh, you're not faster than me. You can't win." But she is smarter, bitch. She is smarter. I love Yang so much. And I was talking about this, like, she specifically chose that spot to throw away the sword because she was keeping an eye on Blake. And she knew that Blake was climbing up from that space. And, you know, she knew that Adam was gonna go after the sword, and that was the whole plan. There we go! KO! He's done. He is done. Like, he's gone, guys. He was so surprised, and to be perfectly honest, I mean, like I said, it was obvious that Adam was gonna die, but I thought, personally, I thought that Adam was gonna die on his own. Like, he was gonna make a mistake, just like Gaston in Beauty and the Beast, and he's gonna fall. from that place. But I didn't expect the other thing. Like, I didn't expect for the bees to kill him, but it actually makes sense. It really makes sense if you think about it. Like, they had to kill him for self-defense. Cassandra, someone asked me Blake or Yang, and I said both. Good, that's a good answer. That's a good answer. Um, I was watching the scene, and I kind of guessed where this was going, but like I said, I still wasn't expecting it, and I couldn't process what happened afterwards. But now that I'm watching it again, you know, like, this scene is so symbolic. Like, we have Gamble Shrouds. It's broken. It has two pieces. And in this scene, there was Nevermore playing in the background, and it makes things so much better. Like, we have Nevermore playing in the background, and like, just think about this. Like, hold on, let me. But see, this is what I meant. Like, we have Gamble Shroud. It has two pieces. Yang is holding one of them, and Blake is holding the other, and they're going for a kill. They're gonna kill Adam with these two parts. They're sharing the burden together. He is their demon. Like, both of them. He did horrible things to both of them, and it's their arc. And they're killing him, like, they're stabbing him at the same time. Like, at this point, they know that they're gonna have to kill him. And they're ready to kill him. Just look at their face. They just want this to be over with. Like, this is their first time killing someone, and it is such a hard thing to do. Like, these kids, they're 18-year-olds. Like, just think about it. They're either 18 or 19. Either way, they're so young. But anyway, this scene is so freaking satisfying. Hold on. This is satisfying. To me, it is. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but this is so satisfying for me. Like, seriously, at first I was really shook to see this. But then I watched it again, and like, it is so freaking satisfying now. I love it. I love it. Like, seriously, this is amazing. And then we have this. Oh, so some people say that Adam's death is like, it was um really anticlimactic, but like, I think that's what he deserves. Like, this death, just like, the only thing he was able to say was, oh, he was just surprised. And that's what he deserved. Like, he didn't deserve like a glorious death scene. That's what he deserved. He's a piece of trash. Cassandra, Fall of Meerkat equals the Rise of Bumblebee. Hashtag Bumblebee is canon. Thank you. Okay. Fall of Meerkat means Rise of Bumblebee. Okay, I love that. And there we go. He's gone. Well, just look at his face. This is satisfying. This is satisfying. But anyway. And then we got this. Blake is shook. She's looking at the weapon. She's trying to figure out what the heck just happened. And this is such a hard moment for her. And if we get closer to this scene, and then she's about to break down. And Yang is looking at her, and she's ready to, be there for Blake. This was just so sad. This was so sad. Yang has seen it, and she immediately ran towards Blake. And then we got this. This is the cutest thing. Like, this is the cutest thing. Seriously, like, I mean, this is so sad, but also so sweet. These girls, they're there for each other. No matter what, they would die for to protect each other. Like, they would do anything to protect each other. They just killed a person to be able to protect themselves. And, you know, if you think about it, like, Adam meant something to Blake in the past. Like, Adam wasn't this evil person before, and she actually loved him, but she changed, and it's come to the point that there is nothing that she would do except killing him, which is just so sad, and she's trying to process all of this. And this is important. This is an important scene. Right after they killed him, the first thing she says is, "I'm not going to break my promise. I swear." And she's saying that with a trembling voice, and this broke my heart. Because she's still trying to reassure Yang that she's not gonna leave. Because if you remember, Adam was saying stuff like, "Oh, she promised me once too, and look how she kept it." Like, she was trying to manipulate Yang. I mean, Adam was trying to manipulate Yang. And the first thing she did after killing him is, "I'm not going to break my promise, I swear. Please believe me, I'm not leaving you." And, this is actually effects of, like, mental abuse, like, emotional abuse. And it is so sad to see. We can still see the effects of Adam on Blake, even after he's gone. And it's probably gonna take a lot of time for these stuff to go. And it's just kind of sad. And this scene was really important. You know, Yang was hugging her, and she didn't answer right away. She didn't answer to Blake right away. Instead, what she did was she pulled herself back and she looked her in the eyes directly before answering to her. This is actually, like, this is really important because it's kind of a parallel to what happened in Volume 3, and I'm gonna talk about it. And she said, "Cassandra, no Black Sun, Bumblebee all the way, who agrees?" I mean, I ship the bees and I don't ship Black Sun, but I have nothing against Black Sun. I mean, people can ship it, I don't mind, but I love the bees, personally. Thank you for the donation again. Okay, so Yang looked her in the eyes and said, "I know you won't." There's a reason as to why she pulled herself away and looked her in the eyes to say this. If you guys remember, in Volume 3, after that incident happened with Mercury in the Idol Festival, while everyone was thinking that Yang broke his leg, when they returned to their rooms, Blake said that, "Yang, I want to believe you, so I will believe you, but please look me in the eye and tell me that you didn't mean to hurt him," or something like that. And Yang looked her in the eye and said that she didn't, like, hurt him because she wanted to. And she looked her in the eye again here to reassure Blake that, "Blake, I know you're not gonna leave. I know this. So please don't worry." So this was important in that regard. And just look at them, guys. Like, this is such an iconic scene. Like, they're holding each other, and Blake is crying while holding Yang's robotic arm. This is just... this was amazing. Okay, I'm reading the chat right now, and honestly, I'm glad that this wasn't, like, they didn't kiss on this scene, because it would be weird. Like, they just killed someone. They had to kill someone out of self-defense, and if they would kiss right after this, it would have been weird. This was the perfect way. Seriously, this was the perfect scene. after they killed Adam, like seriously. And then we come to the finale, and I actually did a stream for the finale episode and talked about these stuff in more detail, but I'm gonna do it anyway since this is a Bumblebee live stream. Um, someone in the chat is, oh my god, I can't. I'm gonna go and rewatch this after the stream. I mean, I can't really blame you. I also want to watch this again. Seriously, like, in the previous week, right after I made the stream, I was like, oh god, I miss Ruby so much, and ever since that time, I've been listening to Ruby soundtrack, like when I'm going to work and while I'm returning from work, like I keep listening to Ruby soundtrack. It's that time of the hiatus for me. Like I'm dying. I need Ruby. At least I need to Volume 6 soundtrack, you know. I just need something about Ruby because I'm dying, and doing these streams just makes me remember, like, just makes me realize how much I miss Ruby. Seriously, guys. This is my favorite show and I miss it so much. This hiatus is long. Anyway, in this scene, we still see the effects of abuse on Blake. Like, let me make this bigger. So everyone is around Blake, but Yang is the closest one to her and she's holding her hands. And Blake is still apologizing. She thinks that it is her fault, you know. And it is just sad. Like, she still blames herself for everything because that's what Adam's been doing ever since they met with each other. He was blaming Blake for everything. He was abusing her, and it is so sad that we're still seeing the effects of this. And I really hope Blake is gonna be free from this burden. Like, even though her demon is gone, we're still seeing the effects. It is just sad. And and here we see Yang consulting her. She's like, don't be. And she's still holding her. She's trying to be close to Blake. This isn't on you. And it is true, this isn't on Blake. This was Adam's fault, not her. She can't blame herself for what Adam did. It wasn't her fault. Like, she's also blaming herself because, you know, the plan didn't work. The plan didn't work because Adam attacked Blake. But Blake is still blaming herself. Oh, this poor kid, I swear. And she's like, but she's still trying to say, but it is my fault, Yang, the plan didn't work. And then we have this. We have this. You're safe, and that's all that matters. And all that matters was playing in the background here. You know, it was also playing at the end of Volume 5 when they get back together and Blake said, you know, you're here and that's all that matters, and we got the same thing. And it is great. I love their dynamic. Look at this. Ruby stepped up as a team leader and she's trying to convince Blake that it's not your fault. We're a family. We're just glad that you're safe, and that's all that matters. And Blake is just so sad. She's still blaming herself for everything. Cassandra! Siblings always know. Yeah, Ruby knows. Ruby knows that Yang is into Blake. Like, she was hugging Blake, and she looked at Yang, and the next scene was like, it's one of my perfects. Look, I'm gonna zoom in and every single screenshot here. So, she's looking at Blake. Like, just look how soft she is. Like, this is a look. Like, you only look at someone if you have a crush on someone. Like, if you actually love someone, if you're in love with someone, you would look at someone like this. And she's looking at Blake like this. And then she looks at Ruby. and she smiles. Like, seriously, this is the softest smile. This is the softest smile. And then on the next one, she looks away. She looks away. She is embarrassed because she realizes that Ruby knows that she's into Blake. Ruby knows, guys. Ruby knows. Look at this. She smiles at her big sister. She knows that she's into Blake, and she knows and she supports her. And this is just cute. This is like the cutest thing. Like, I love their interactions, and I love the fact that Ruby knows. And on this screenshot, just look at the bees. Look at Yang's hand. While they were talking, Yang's right hand is still on Blake's back. They're always touching at each other, and this is gay. This is gay. They're always so close to each other, and look at the scene again. Yang, my dear, where is that hand, Yang? Where is it? What are you doing? What are you doing with that hand? But yeah, they can't stop touching at each other. It's the cutest thing. And then we got this. We have Weiss, the wing woman. We have our wing woman. And she's being all like, I'm sorry you went through that nightmare. Weiss is such a sweetheart. She's such a sweetheart, and you can see how sad they all looking. Like, just, they're all thinking about what happens, probably, and that's why they all look so sad. But then, she says, but I'm glad Yang was there for you in time. She's amazing. Weiss is amazing. She's one of my favorites. I love her so much, and we got this. They're both smiling now. They're both smiling. And like, you know what happened next. You all know what happened next. Like, just, I can't stop staring at these scenes, guys. This isn't a Full Metal Ninja. What have you done? What are you doing? Hi Autumn, how are you? Sorry I couldn't attend your live stream last week. Long live the bee. Thank you for the donation, but this is too much. You know, I know you follow me on Twitter, and I know you were saying something about like joining my Patreon, but you said you couldn't join, and you actually donated me before, and I know you watch my Shira reactions and stuff. And I'm not able to post my Shira and the Dragon Prince reactions because they keep getting blocked. And I was actually thinking, like, this just reminded me that I'm gonna send links to my full length reactions because you've been supporting me a lot on YouTube, and I really don't like the fact that you're not able to like see my Shira and Dragon Prince contacts. So I'll be DMing you on Twitter, and I'm gonna send you my links. Like, seriously, thank you so much for your support. Like, this is crazy. So yeah, there is that. I'm gonna send you my videos. Like, you're so kind. I cannot believe you. You guys are making me emotionally. Look, I'm not gonna cry again on a live stream. It's happened before. It's not cool. But thank you so much. Like I said, I'm gonna DM you this week and I'm gonna send you the links. Let's go with the bees. As you can see, Yang looked at Blake's hand and then she reached out to it. And I talked about this on my finale live stream, but I'm gonna talk about it again. Let's make this bigger. Let's make this bigger. So, this is an iconic scene. It represents a lot of stuff. You can see the scars they've gotten from Adam. And even though they've been suffering because of Adam, Adam is gone now. And even though they have these scars that they're gonna keep all of their lives, they still have each other. Like, this hand holding and this scene, it represents a lot of things. It is iconic. It is an iconic scene. it is just like, seriously, this is one of my favorite shots from this episode. This could be my favorite, actually. From the finale, this could be my favorite shot. Like, I don't know who animated this, but kudos to you. Seriously, like the symbolism is amazing on this screenshot. It is amazing. Oh, you're right. The scene is so similar to the Renora moment in the Volume 4 finale. Yeah, actually, yeah. Renora and Bumblebee actually always like parallels to each other, you know, like they always have like similar scenes throughout the volumes, you know, and like I said, I do believe that they're the two main ships in this show. Cassandra, the Lux Chauvidon, I just wanted to thank you for everything you've showed here in the chat and in previous videos. So on behalf of everyone, I just wanted to thank you. That is so sweet of you. You've been donating me, like, seriously, thank you so much for your support, and thank you guys. Like I said, I don't know if you've seen any of my videos, but one of the biggest reasons as to why I started like doing my reactions and stuff, it's because um I have no one else to talk about Ruby in real life, and I really enjoy freaking out over Ruby and about the bees with you guys because this is my favorite show, and I really love the bees. I've never shipped like two characters before, like I shipped in Ruby, like I shipped Blake and Yang, and I just love sharing my excitement and my thoughts with you guys because, like, seriously, I have no one else to do it in real life. So this is, I just love hanging out with you guys and reading you guys' comments and just, you know, rambling about the stuff that I like. Oh wait, I forgot which screenshot I was. Okay, I lost it. Where is it? I'm sorry, I'm a mess right now. Oh, there we go. Okay, I found it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I lost the. I mean, there are 150 images on OBS, guys. Please. Okay, there we go. And Yang said, "We were there for each other. They're equals." Like when Mai said, you know, Yang was there for you. She was like, "We were there for each other. Blake was also there for me. Like we're always there for each other. We're equals." This is. I love this, guys. I love this. I can talk about this whole day. And she looks at Yang, and she smiles. She smiles. Look at the smile. Look at the smile, guys. Guys, this is gay. This is gay. This is love. What we are seeing here is love. They're looking at each other and they're smiling at each other. And like, I cannot believe this. I cannot believe this. Like, seriously, I'm so glad that this show exists, guys. I am so glad that this show exists. And we got this scene. Can you guys look at our bees? They're still looking at each other, guys. They're still looking at each other. While they were talking, the others are talking. They're still looking at each other, and look at this. They're in the background, but they're still looking at each other. This was after they said, like, someone said something about Atlas, and they just looked at each other. This is that screenshot. Like, they were they were talking about Atlas, and they were just keep staring at each other. And this was my last screenshot. This was the last screenshot that I put on the live stream. This was all of the moments, and I don't know if you guys were here when I started the stream, but what I'm gonna do right now is that I'm gonna read a Bumblebee fanfiction. It's a short one. It's my friend's fanfiction. It's gonna be like a reaction to a fanfiction. Like, I'm gonna send you guys the link on the live stream so that you guys can like check it out yourselves. It's a short one, and it's kind of an event thing that we decided on my Discord server. So, like, yeah, I'm gonna read a fanfiction. I don't know if you guys I don't know if you guys will be interested in it. I've never done something like this in my life. But yeah, It's gonna be interesting, I guess. Hold on, I'm gonna send you guys a link. Let me open it. Okay, the name of it is. Hold on, let me check. When you walked out, there was something left unsaid. It's Bloodraven55's fanfiction. She's my friend, she's my moderator. I'm sending you guys the link, by the way. There you go. I sent the link. You can, like, you guys can check it out on your own. If you want. Brighter? No, I'm not gonna read Brighter. I know that I think it's Smut or something. Like, I haven't read it myself, but this is not Smut, guys. This is not Smut. This is gonna be soft. From what I heard from Bethany, the person who wrote this fiction, it's gonna be cute. Okay. I don't know if I should read the summary. I don't think I should. Now, okay, what is this? Blake and Yang finally have a much-needed conversation after the Volume 5 finale. Okay, let's see. There are notes. I'm not gonna read the notes, but I'm gonna start from the beginning. Let's do this. I don't know how long am I gonna read this. I really don't. Oh well, wish me luck. Like, I'm sorry if I ever mispronounce a word. Like, English is not my first language and I'm anxious right now. Anyway. Okay, let's do this. As she knelt on the floor of Haven Academy Grand Hall in the embrace of her team, the overwhelming emotion that rose in Blake's chest was relief. After a year of absence, she had never expected to ever even see any of them again. Aw. And to be quite literally welcomed back with open arms was more than she could have possibly hoped for. She had certainly never envisioned any forgiveness at all from. Oh, Bethany, you're killing me. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she never envisioned any forgiveness. Like, this is killing me. Anyway, Yang. There was so much she needed to say to her. Her what? Oh my god. Her partner? No. She had lost the right to be Yang's partner the moment she ran. Blake, no! Okay, this is gonna kill me, I guess. A partner was someone who had your back, who was always there for you when you needed them. How would Yang ever be able to put that trust in her again when she had already betrayed it once? No! This was a bad idea. This was a bad idea. Anyway, and even if Yang could still have faith in her, Blake wasn't sure she had faith in herself. Not when she remembered every word of conversation in an empty classroom at Beacon, as Yang told her how Raven had abandoned. Oh, this is season 2, episode 6, burning the candle. How dare you, Bethany? Anyway, let's continue. How Summer had left on a hunt and never come back. She had known that too many people had left Yang behind, yeah. And yet she had still chosen to become one of them. Oh my god. No! She had wondered how anyone could willingly, desert someone so full of warmth and compassion and light. And yet she had done it herself. Oh my god. She didn't deserve the comforting weight of Yang's arm across her shoulder, or the affection in her gaze, or the tenderness in the way she was smiling at her. No, Blake! I hate this. Blake averted her eyes, focusing properly on her other two teammates for the first time since they had been reunited. Ruby was definitely taller than she remembered. That's cute. And it was obvious from the tense set of her shoulders that she was carrying the weight of too much responsibility. That is true. But Blake was pleased to see that she hadn't lost the youthful optimism in her expression. Her leader had grown up, but appeared to have done a much better job of it than she had herself. Weiss, on the other hand, hadn't gained any extra height. Oh my god, yeah, Weiss is small. Much to her disappointment, Blake imagines. But the lack of rigidity, I guess, I don't know how to pronounce that word, in her posture and the warmth in her face suggested that she had gained some freedom from the name that had haunted her. True. Blake thought of the ball she had left floating in the ocean, and realized that perhaps she and Weiss had become more alike than she ever could have anticipated. If Weiss could forgive herself, maybe she could too. But it wasn't the same. Weiss hadn't chosen to leave her friends. She had been forced to. Weiss hadn't earned the guilt she had harbored. She had simply been born into the wrong family. Weiss had a large hole in the side of her dress, the surrounding fabric stained by what looked like blood. Oh god, yeah, she had been impaled. Oh boy. Good times. Weiss. Blake finally pulled out her teammate's arms to gesture at Weiss's side with a shaking hand. What happened? Oh, that? Weiss glanced down to where the wound had been. Apparently I was impaled. Yeah, that's oh my god, that's true. Cinder, Ruby explained, her face darkening for an instant before her expression morphed back into a smile. Jean healed her though. He finally unlocked his semblance. Blake followed Ruby's gaze to where Team J and R were standing a short way across the room. Jean gave her a small smile, while Ren simply offered a nod, which Nora was too preoccupied to notice as she rambled excitedly to him in a rapid flurry of words too fast for Blake to discern. Yeah, I can totally imagine that. She allowed herself a moment to remember the fourth member of their team before turning back to her own with a trembling breath and stinging eyes. Oh god, I'm not ready for this. If things had happened differently, she could have been in that position. Wise might have been gone, no longer there to bribe Ruby into studying with the promise of cookies, or complain that Yang was taking too long in the shower, or protest that she most assuredly had not been borrowing from Blake's secret stash of utterly tasteless and indecent literature. Wow, that's harsh. Just contemplating the possibility, Blake felt a wave of immeasurable sympathy for John, Ren, and Nora, as well as a deep admiration for them. They had been brave where she had not, had stood firm rather than fleeing in the face of tragedy. Oh boy. And with each other's support, they had made it through, emerging closer and stronger than ever. Blake knew she needed to be more like them. She had left in an attempt to prevent any more of her friends from being hurt. But they were going to be hurt regardless, and the next time it happened, she was going to be there to help. She is going to be there for help, exactly. Are you ready to get out of here? Ruby's voice cut through her thoughts, and she realized she was being spoken to. I am at your commands, oh fearless leader, her deadpan response drew a grin from Ruby, and she couldn't help but smile in return. While she was gone, she had felt the absence of her teammates like a physical ache. Aw. Had missed Team Ruby laughing and bickering and fighting together as they worked to make the world a better place. The same way she would miss the stories in her books if she became unable to read. The four of them clamored fighting than she had. She instinctively started to offer Yang a hand to pull herself up. Oh god, things are gonna get wild here. Before hesitating and extending it to Weiss instead. Oh boy. Considering Weiss had been impaled, she reasoned, it was only fair. Oh yeah, you're not wrong. To dwell on the prosthetic that she had then watched Yang deposit in the grasp of an astonished Mercury. She looked over her shoulder and sure enough, there it was. Lying on the ground halfway across the room, Blake felt as though her world was in slow motion as she turned away from her team to walk over to it. It was painted in black and yellow exactly like Yang's bike. And Blake wanted more than anything to just fall to her knees and cry. Oh my god. Instead, she held back the tears and bent down to pick it up. She barely managed to keep her hands from shaking as she carried it back to where her teammates were waiting. She could still see the red of Adam's mask as he loomed over her, could still hear his voice as he swore to destroy everything she had ever loved, could still feel his blade piercing her flesh. Oh boy. But none of those memories compared to the moment in which she had understood with horrific clarity that Yang would defend her, and Adam would begin to fulfill his promise. He may have succeeded then, but Blake would willingly die rather than let him take even one more step towards completing his mission. She finally looked up at Yang, and she could see the same memories reflecting her own pain back at her as she returned her arm to her. Their fingers brushed as Yang took it from her, and Blake had to stop her hands from jerking away at the shock of sensation. It had only been the slightest touch, but after a year without even that, she was completely unprepared for the I can't read. Intensity of her former partner's skin grazing her own. Then Ying's arm snapped back into place, and Blake snapped back to her senses. The moment gone as quickly as it had arrived. I see you brought 2 upscaling with you, Blake. Wise's amused comment served as a helpful reminder that she and Yang were not the only 2 people in the room, and Blake turned to find Sun waving animatedly at them from the sizable hole that the battle had left the wall. She rolled her eyes but gave him a small wave back. He may be a total dork with no sense of privacy, but he's been a good friend. She could practically feel the unwavering focus with which Yang regarded her as she talked about Sun, and it made her feel inexplicably self-conscious. Or maybe it wasn't so This is a hard word to read. Inexplicable if she was totally truthful with herself. Suddenly desperate to talk about anything else, she blurted the first thing that came to mind. So, do you guys want to meet my parents? Oh my god! Are you gonna meet with the Belladonnas? Okay, so how's it going, by the way? Do you guys enjoy that me reading this? We have still 38 people here. I'm just looking at the chat right now. Do you guys want me to keep reading it? Is it going great, or... Oh boy, did I... Oh, you guys... Okay. Oh, you enjoy? Okay. Alright, okay, I'm gonna keep reading it then. I'm continuing. Okay. I'm glad you guys enjoy it then. Aw. Okay, it looks like this is gonna hurt us all, guys. This is gonna hurt us all. Anyway. Let's keep going. How did you gather so many people to fight with you? By the time Blake was finished with all the introductions, the army of faunus she had brought from Menagerie had begun to gather in small groups in the courtyard outside the Grand Hall. And Weiss voiced the question that all her teammates had been thinking. Well, you see, my dad's sort of the chief back in Menagerie, Blake began to explain, but Yang held up a hand to stop her before she got any further. Wait, so you're saying your family are aristocrats? There was a long moment of silence as everyone stared at Yang in shock. Too stunned to react before Weiss facepalmed with a world-weary groan and Blake's parents burst out in raucous slaughter. Is that how you pronounce it? What kind of word is that, Bethany? Anyway, when they had finally stopped chuckling, Kali leaned over towards Blake. I like her, she proclaimed, empathetically in a voice more than loud enough for everyone to hear. Mom! Blake was seriously wondering why she had ever thought letting her friends meet her parents would be a good idea. I'm glad to see my daughter has people who look out for her, Gira agreed, and no one missed the way his eyes were drawn to Yang's yellow and black arm. Oh god. This time the silence that followed felt heavy and stifling, the mood suddenly far more somber. And you thought you were tall, Yang. Blake's dad's a giant, Ruby teased, breaking the tension as she elbowed her sister playfully. Yang laughed. It was a small sound, more of a chuckle really. But to Blake it was like rain after a year-long drought, and she soaked it up greedily. Ilya must have seen the look on her face. Oh! Because she reached over to rest a comforting hand on her shoulder, and Blake couldn't help but notice the way Yang stared fixedly at Ilya's hand with an unreadable expression on her face. Ooh, is it jealousy that I'm seeing here? Anyway, Ilya's gator is strong. Her attention was drawn elsewhere when the rest of the group started to file out of the hall, and Ruby grabbed her hand excitedly, dragging her after them. Come on, let's show you where we've been staying. Alright? When they arrived at the house, Yang disappeared inside without looking back. In fact, she hadn't so much as glanced at Blake since they had left Haven Academy. Ruby and Weiss followed after sharing a pointed look with each other, and finding herself momentarily alone. Blake let out a long sigh. If Yang wanted as little to do with her as possible, she would just have to accept it. Oh my god. It would make every moment she spent around her agony to be so close to her again, yet more isolated than ever. But she certainly wouldn't blame Yang for feeling that way, and she refused to run away from her pain a second time, so she would endure whatever she had to. First, though, she had to apologize to Yang. For so long, the words she wanted to say had only existed inside her thoughts, but now they were as tangible as the person for whom they were intended, so close to being released she could already almost feel them on her lips. She knew there would be no closure for either of them until she had given those words to Yang to do with as she wished. Even if that meant they were cast aside or returned shattered and broken. Sun and Ilya stepped up next to her, their presence bolstering her confidence and further solidifying her resolve. Whatever happened between her and Yang, she wouldn't make herself deal with it alone. Go talk to her, Blake. We'll be here for you if you need us. Ilya's unerring support had been invaluable to Blake over the last few days, and she was immensely glad that they had managed to start filling in the cracks in their friendship. She liked Sun, and he was a lot of fun, but it could be wearing to be around him for too long. And Ilya's much less excitable approach was sometimes easier for her to cope with. Ilya deserved a little fun in her life after everything she had been through, though. And Blake wasn't about to call herself an expert in helping people enjoy themselves. Maybe her two friends could learn a few things from each other. Yeah, go get her, Tiger! Oh my god, Bethany! Okay, Sun showed her towards the door with an unnecessary exaggerated wink, and Blake shot him a glare when she almost stumbled in most undignified manner. Yeah, she really hoped Ilya could rein him in a little. With one last determined note to the two of them, she turned and strode into the house. Once she was inside, she promptly realized that she didn't actually know which room belonged to Yang, or if Yang was even in her room at all. She was considering just searching each part of the house in turn when Weiss emerged from a door further down the entrance hall. Weiss, do you know where Yang went? She's in the third room down on the left side of the corridor. Blake was already moving before Weiss had finished speaking, but a surprisingly strong grip on her wrists stopped her before she could take more than a few steps. But before you talk to her, you and I are going to have a little chat. Oh god, okay. As Weiss half guided, half dragged her back into the room she had previously come from, Blake felt more nervous than she would ever have admitted. She had fully expected to be called out for running away from her team, but she had always imagined Yang rather than Weiss being the one to do so. Oh, Blake, my dear. Then again, Weiss had been the one who had stood in their dorm room at Beacon and made Blake promise to always come to her teammates with her problems, something she had resoundingly failed to do, so perhaps it wasn't so surprising. The door clicked shut, and Blake's uneasiness must have shown on her face because Weiss rested a reassuring hand on her shoulder briefly as she passed her to sit on the bed. Weiss patted the spot next to herself in invitation and sighed when Blake hesitated. It's okay, Blake. I'm not here to yell at you. I'm certain you've punished yourself quite enough already. So come on, sit. I love Weiss. Blake sank down next to her. She knew it was selfish to be relieved that Weiss wasn't freezed with her leaving, but talking to Yang was already going to be the hardest thing she had ever done, and she didn't know if she could have coped with another one of her friends highlighting her worst mistake. I didn't see much of Yang after what happened. My father forced me back to Atlas before I could do anything to help her. But I know that she struggled with it terribly for a very long time, and I know that it would have helped her immensely if her partner had been there when she woke up without an arm. Blake tensed. feeling her guilt rise to the surface in a toxic current as she bent forward to put her head in her hands. Weiss placed a steadying hand on her back, an anchor against the regret threatening to overwhelm her. I'm not telling you this to make you feel worse. I'm telling you so you know how to help her. I know how much you care for her, Blake. I watched as you clung to her hand while she was unconscious and apologized again and again. But since then, I've also watched Yang sob over how much she needed you there for her. And I know she didn't truly believe you would come back. You're here now, though, so don't waste your second chance because you think you don't deserve it. If you want to be with Yang, it needs to be all of you, not just a part of you your guilt will allow you to give her. I know what it's like to deny yourself happiness because someone thought you that you weren't worthy of it, Blake. And trust me, it's no way to live. Oh my god, this is killing me. Blake couldn't hold her tears back any longer. Aww. And she turned to hide her face in Liza's shoulders as her teammate ran a soothing hand across her back. How? How do I tell her how sorry I am, Liz? How do I let go of everything that's happened? She gave up on words when the way her breathing hitched as she cried made speaking too much effort. Just letting Wise's calm, measured voice wash over her and lessen the ache in her heart. I believe in you, Blake. It might seem impossible, but you've already taken the first step. And I know you're brave enough to take the next one too. Everyone after that will be easier. Yang will help you if you let her. And you can't help her as well. And you can help her as well. Oh boy, I almost said can't. I'm sorry. Blake pulled away from Weiss when her tears had finally stopped. As she dried her eyes, her teammate gave her a final pat on the back before withdrawing her hand. But for that to happen, you need to talk to her. So go on before it gets even more difficult to do. Weiss stood and was about to leave the room when a thought occurred to Blake. Wait a moment, Weiss. What did you mean by if I want to be with Yang? Oh boy. I think you know. It's good to have you back, Blake. The best wing woman. With that, Weiss walked through the door and left Blake to consider what she had said. It's obvious, my dear. You know, be with Yang. In a gay way. Anyway. Weiss was right. Blake did know what her teammate had meant. Good. Which would probably make the conversation she was about to have a lot more complicated. I don't blame you, girl. But she had stalled long enough already, and she would not let the self-doubt Adam had instilled in her destroy her chance at what she wanted most any longer. She rose from the bed and headed out into the corridor. Thanks to Wise's directions, it was easy to find the door to Yang's room, and she only wavered for a second before knocking firmly. The door swung open a few minutes later, and Blake was suddenly face to face with her former partner. Oh boy. Oh boy! She could have sworn she saw a flash of surprise flit across Yang's features before her expression became neutral once more as she stepped aside to let Blake in. Several seconds passed where neither of them moved, and it was only when Yang shifted uncertainly on her feet and asked, "Do you want to do this in the corridor, or are you gonna come in?" that Blake became conscious of the fact that she was still frozen in place. And the hesitancy in Yang's voice, she hurriedly stepped inside, the door closing behind her with gratifying finality. Yang moved away into the room, keeping her back to Blake as she took a deep, shuddering breath before eventually turning back to face her. As Blake fully absorbed the sight of her former partner for the first time in over a year, she was struck by the realization that the person in front of her was not the same one she had left behind in the ruins of Beacon. Yang had always been powerful, both physically and mentally, a combination of having been forced to grow up much too fast, much too soon, and her semblance allowing her to return any damage she sustained tenfold. But the woman before her now was more than powerful. She was achingly human. and all the more radiant for it. A capable adult bearing scars and flaws that she always managed to overcome with dedication and perseverance. Yang had willingly taken hits for the rest of them far too many times in the past, and they had let her. Too young and carefree to comprehend that even the fighter with the greatest endurance has a limit. Oh my god, Bethany, what is this? Blake had been so right when she had told Sun that Yang was the embodiment of strength. Yang's clothes even seemed to have matured with her. The long coat she had been wearing earlier shed to leave an orange crop top that put the exquisite definition of her biceps and the toned muscles of her abdomen on display in a way that Blake was not remotely ready for, and she was quick to fix her eyes on the bed behind her former partner instead in a futile attempt to avoid staring. That's gay, my dear. Yang was definitely strong in many senses of the word. Ah, yes, words. Although she used them sparingly, she also generally used them calmly and efficiently. However, the ones she had carefully and painstakingly crafted for this very situation refused to cooperate, instead floating out of her in a jumbled stream of emotion. I'm sorry, Yang. I'm so sorry. I was a coward and I ran away when you needed me. And I should have stayed. But he said he would destroy everything I loved, and he started with you, and it was all my fault. Blake. Yang's voice was raw but firm as she interrupted her. It was the first time Yang had said her name in more than 365 days, and it hit her harder than she could ever have anticipated. The tangle of words died in her throat, dropping to curl around her heart, making her feel like it was being squeezed inside her chest as she awaited her former partner's judgment. I never blamed you for this. Yang sounded tired as she looked down at her prosthetic, watching the way the sunlight from the window glinted off the metal. The only thing I ever blamed you for was running. I'm not going to lie, when I found out you were gone, it hurt worse than anything I ever felt before. For a long time, I was so angry with you. Every night I asked myself why you had just left like everyone always does. Yang's voice cracked, and Blake took an involuntary step forward. But she resisted the overpowering urge to reach out and comfort her. She wasn't entirely sure it would be welcome, and she wasn't going to risk making this harder for Yang. Even if the quiet resignation in her former partner's tone was tightening the noose around her heart, I asked myself why I wasn't enough for you to stay. Yang's left hand had started to tremble, and Blake couldn't stop herself from taking it in her own. This is canon, guys. She actually did it in Volume 6. Anyway, let's go on. To her amazement, the shaking lessened until after a few long moments, Yang's hand was steady and sure as she let their fingers tangle together and interlock, clasping Blake's hand fully with such incredible gentleness that it made Blake's breath flutter momentarily. Gestures like this never failed to leave Blake in awe of how Yang could be ferociously aggressive in battle, yet so endlessly tender with the people she cared about. After what felt like minutes, Yang took a deep breath and finally spoke again, looking up into Blake's eyes as though it helped give her the courage she needed to continue. Blake hoped beyond measure that it did. I felt worthless, and it was so frustrating having to relearn how to do everything with one arm. I didn't think I was of any use to anyone when I couldn't even get dressed by myself, let alone fight. But eventually I had to accept that it's just a new kind of normal, and my new arm has helped a lot. I finally feel like someday I'll get where I want to be, and, it will be different to where I was before any of this happened, but it doesn't have to be worse. Blake's grip on Yang's hand had been slowly tightening as Yang talked, and she forced herself to relax it before it became painful. Why's talk to me made me think about things more clearly. I understand why you ran. You were scared and you made the wrong decision, but you wouldn't have had to make that decision at all if it wasn't for him. He didn't just take my arm. You'd found a place where you felt safe and he took that too. So I can forgive you for being afraid of what else he might take. Yang's eyes dropped to the scar half hidden under Blake's coat, and they flickered red as her free hand tentatively reached out as if to touch it. She hesitated, glancing up at Blake like she was waiting for her to stop her. Instead, Blake lowered her own hands and guided Yang's to rest over the now long-healed wound on her side. The metal of the prosthetic was cool against her skin, but the heat the touch kindled inside of her went far deeper. Blake withdrew her hands, letting Yang's obscure the mark Adam had left, and she couldn't suppress the pleasant shiver that ran up her spine when Yang slowly traced a finger over the scar. Yang dragged her gaze up to find Blake's eyes again, and the blood-red rage had been replaced by lilac that burned with conviction. I want you to know that I don't regret what I did. I would give far more than my arm to protect you. I would do anything for you, Blake, so you can stop taking responsibility for the choice I made. I put myself in danger because I loved you then, and I will do it again when I have to because I still love you now. Tears welled in Yang's eyes as she took Blake's in her arms. Her hands warm and solid on Blake's back as she held her as close as physically possible. You have no idea how happy I am that you're here. Oh wait, let me take a break. How's it going, guys? Are you guys still here? Are you guys really here? Oh boy, let me check the comments. It's getting hot in here. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I've noticed. Thankfully it was like, I'm just reading the comments. Oh boy, are you guys crying? You are melting? Talking smooth in the chat. Oh boy. Melting? Okay, there's 38 people. If there are new people here that confused, I'm reading a fanfiction that my friend wrote. It's a short one and we're about to finish. Okay. Continue, they're about to kiss. Okay, I'm continuing. Okay, I'm continuing. We're almost there, guys. Blake felt the final coil of tension ease inside her chest, and she sank into her partner, burying her face in Yang's neck as she sobbed. These weren't the tears of sorrow she had shed earlier. However, this was a blissful release of the fear she had carried with her for so long. The fear that she would never have Yang's forgiveness, that she had lost her chance at having Yang's love. She had never been more grateful to have been wrong in her life. Blake couldn't hold herself back any longer, and she pulled away just far enough to kiss Yang with a year's worth of contained longing. Yang's hand left her back to cup her face, and the desperation in the way she returned Blake's kiss obliterated the last sliver of thought I'm dying in Blake's mind, along with the rest of her rational thought. When is this gonna happen in canon, guys? Okay. They only separated when their lungs demanded air, and Yang's thumb skimmed across Blake's cheeks to wipe away the remnants of her tears. Blake let out a sigh of pure contentment as she returned the favor. I can't remember the last time I cried this much in one day. I feel like it should be impossible for so much pain to lead to so much joy. The smile she got in response made her feel like the sun was shining directly on her, burning away the shadows she had surrounded herself with to let her finally feel its warmth. Blake caught Yang's prosthetic hand in her own as it moved away from her face, lifting it to press her lips to the smooth metal, and the depth of affection in Yang's eyes as she watched the gesture left Blake breathless all over again. I know the feeling. But maybe let's try for just happy tears from now on, yeah? Yang's words shouldn't have been funny, but Blake was too elated to care as she collapsed onto the bed in a fit of laughter. Her joy must have been infectious because seconds later Yang was laughing too as she fell on top of her partner. Aw, these dorks. The two of them ending up in an uncoordinated heap as the bed groaned in protestation of the sudden extra weight. Neither of them cared that it might be able to give way underneath them, though, because getting up would waste valuable time where they could be kissing again instead. Okay, it only took them a few moments to discover that kissing is very difficult when you can't seem to stop smiling. As a laugher from Yang's room trailed off, Weiss walked away from the spot outside where she had paused for a moment on her way past, the sound of her friends' unrestrained happiness lingering in the air behind her as a satisfied smile formed on her face. And this was the end. this was this was the end. Did you guys like it? Okay. Ooh, this was long. Oh my god. I mean Bethany, this was an amazing fanfiction. You killed us all. You killed the 39 people in the chat. Seriously, you loved it? I'm glad. I mean, I hope I didn't screw up that much because, that was a lot of English. A lot of English words. So, they talked and kissed perfectly. Okay. You loved it? I'm glad. By the way, guys, since you guys are still here, like 38 people, good reading. Thanks, Yana. Aw, thank you guys. I mean, this was my first time reading a fanfiction out loud, so this was kind of weird for me. But anyway, almost cried. Aw, thank you. Yana almost fell asleep. Aw, that's cute. Okay, so I was thinking, like, I got some other screenshots from Yana, the Bumblebee moments from like the previous volumes, and I can make live stream for the older Bumblebee moments if you guys are interested. Like, I don't know if you guys would be interested. Like, they're the older volumes. Like, your English improves with reading. Sure, yes, do it. Should I do it? I mean, I don't know when I'm gonna be able to do it, but definitely. Everyone is like, more beast content. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to give. Um, I just don't know when I can make a reaction, not reaction, I'm sorry. A live stream like this again. But, oh, it looks like you guys are interested. That's good, I guess. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna try to do. We can't wait. You are one beacon of hope in this hiatus. Oh, that's cute. Thanks. Holy cow, who have you $100? Oh yeah, that's Full Metal Ninja. Nicholas, I believe. I mean, if I remember correctly. he gave me that. He's so sweet. The Bumblebee moments from older volumes would be very interesting. We would revisit the moments that gave us hope it would happen. Yeah, I can do that. I can start from the very beginning and like comment towards it because I wasn't in the fandom at the time, so like I can talk about those moments. Like I can start talking about when I started shipping Bumblebee and when I started getting more hope and stuff. Yeah, this was a long stream. How long was it's almost 2 hours. I mean, I knew that was gonna long. That's why I divided the stream into two. Like I did a stream last week and it was the first part and I was like, oh god, I have work tomorrow, so I'm gonna split into this to two. But yeah. Thank you for like accompanying me, I guess. You guys have been here even though I was reading a fanfiction for like I don't know how long I've been reading. I have no clue as to how long I've been reading. Sure, I can make commentaries. 2 hours, huh? Didn't notice because it's really entertaining. Oh, thank you, Yana. We can't never get enough of you and Bumblebee. You guys are so sweet. And you're welcome for the donation. Like I said, I can't contribute to your Patreon due to monthly bills, but I want to help you. You're so kind. Seriously, thank you so much. Like I said, I'm gonna send you my videos with DMs on Twitter. I'm gonna send you them this week. Do you read smuts? No, I don't read smuts. I don't read that much of fanfictions in general. I mean, I read 12 Clara's fanfictions, and like, I haven't been able to read her fictions for a really long time as well. But yeah, read 12 Clara's fics next. They are long. Look, Erin, I mean 12 Clara, she writes long fictions. Like, otherwise I'd have to make the stream just to read a fanfiction. Like, it would be 2 hours of me reading a fanfiction. But yeah. You guys are so sweet, seriously. You guys are here. 38 people. I should end the stream though. It's getting late. But this was so fun, and I really want to make more content for you guys. Cassandra, I hope my donations were good too, but I only did it because I love your videos and I've said before, everyone here appreciates your videos. Cassandra, yeah, of course they were like, you donated a lot of, like, you kept donating it, and like, thank you so much. They helped me a lot. Seriously, they helped me a lot. I mean, I've been saving money to be able to go to RTX either next year or the year after that, and if it keeps going like this, like with my Patreon and with my live streams, I guess I'll be able to go to RTX either next year or the year after that. Like, it's one of my dreams, and I really want to meet with you guys and all, and I've been saving money to be able to go to RTX, and I'm trying. We'll see. I mean, I also got a full-time job, and I'm hoping to go to RTX next year too. Maybe I'll see you there. I would love to meet you. I would love to meet you, seriously. Good morning in my timeline. Oh boy, it's midnight for me. I'm gonna go to sleep and then wake up to go to work. But good morning. I'm also too far away from any RTX. I mean, I have to go to the other side of the world, literally, and there's this visa problem. Like, it's gonna be a hassle to be able to get my visa or visa. I don't know how to pronounce it, but anyway. Um, you guys are helping me a lot already, please. I hope all ships will love sail. I hope so too. She noticed me, senpai. I'm not a senpai, please, no. And yeah, I noticed you. United Federation, I guess that's your name. Please post pictures for those that lie through you. I cannot visit the United States since I'm in Latin America. We are not exactly welcome there. Of course, I mean, if I can ever go to that place, I'm gonna make vlogs. Like, seriously, I'm gonna make a lot of vlogs, and not just for RTX. Like, I'm planning on visiting some other countries in Europe, and when I visit there, I'm gonna make vlogs, and I'm gonna upload them on YouTube so that you guys can watch them. I mean, I don't know if you guys would be interested, but yeah, I'm gonna make some vlogs whenever I go visit a different country. And like, there are people that I want to visit in other countries, like my patrons and my online friends. Like, seriously, there are a lot of people in my Discord server that I want to like meet in real life, and some YouTubers that I want to meet. Like, I'm planning on going to Germany this year, and like, there are people that I want to meet, and I'm gonna make a vlog for each city that I'm gonna visit, and you guys are gonna be able to watch them. I mean, I don't know when say everyone's names. I'm not gonna say. Are you gonna meet Tolly? That's the plan. I'm planning on meeting with Tolly. Yeah. Uh, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Right now, I have this problem with my passport, so I might need to delay my plans, but like, I might need to delay my plans to August, but yeah. I really want to meet you. I follow you on Tumblr. Aw, you follow me on Tumblr? I look forward to your vlogs. I hope you have fun. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But yeah. Make a collab video. Perhaps we can make a collab video, but I don't know how long I can stay in Tolly City. But yeah. Goodbye, friends. I'm gonna miss this chat. Take care. I should also end the stream. It's getting late. And I just love chatting with you guys in my live streams. And I wasn't able to read the chat But I'm gonna check it out later on after I upload this on YouTube because I was, talking about the bees and such, so I missed a lot of stuff. But yeah. But seriously, guys, thank you so much for accompanying me, and thank you all so much for the ones that gave me donations. They helped me a lot. Thank you so much. It was so fun, and like I said, I might make more live streams about the bees, about the older bees moments. But yeah, good night, y'all. I mean, either good night or good morning or good afternoon. I really don't know. But yeah. So yeah, guys, this was the part 2 of my Bumblebee live stream. I hope you guys have enjoyed it, and I hope I'll see you guys on the next one. Care.